Hello there. Pablo Gunner here, aka Paul McTeague Garcia. And this is just something new I'm trying out where I'm just talking about the current situation and how it relates to history. Current situation in America. It's a catastrophe right now. But in reality, it's really not anything that we have not dealt with before. I mean, it isn't, but when you really look back at the history, which is crazy. So I got this book right here. It's a People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. It's phenomenal. The first part is actually really hard to read and get through because the first chapter or first few chapters, because it's really just about the decimation of the Native Americans by Christopher Columbus. Like it's super depressing. It took me a long time to get through those chapters or that chapter because it was just so depressing. It just makes you want to build a time machine and go back in time and murder Christopher Columbus. After that, it does get into how the country came to be. It really focuses more on the people, the little people, and not the big names. But that being said, it is about how big people have always oppressed the rich have always oppressed the poor, no matter what race, right? That's the thing, is that when people came to this country, a lot of people came to this country as slaves, as servants, indentured servitude, right? Even the British, white British people, because that was their way of getting over to the colonies or to America, is that they had to essentially sell them services. I mean, they didn't sell themselves. There was people going like, "I'll take you over there, but I'm gonna own you. You're gonna be my servant. You're gonna do everything for me." And that's what they did. Is a lot of people were slaves coming to this country. Starting off, everyone, almost everyone was slaves because of that. Yes, there was slavery in Africa. Yes, there has been slavery forever. But here's the deal. In Africa, their slavery was like, you serve our family, and then after like a couple of years, you just become part of the family. Like they'll marry you off to one of their family members. Like you're just part of the family after a while. When people started buying Africans, they were like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Except it wasn't, because that didn't happen. They didn't go like, oh yeah, you're just going to do like your 2 year service and then we're going to sell you and then we're going to marry you off to a family member. No, but they kind of sold it that way. Or like, yeah, it's the same thing. No, it wasn't that way. And similar. So it was like, no matter if you were black, white, Native American, whatever you were under this same thing. But then the rich started to realize that when there are all these little mini revolutions happening where the poor would team up together, would join together and fight the rich, and they would go, we're not working for you anymore. We're not doing this. They would join together because they were all in the same situation. They were all in the same boat. And so that's where we're getting to, where once we're all in the same boat, we're all going to have the same mentality and we're all going to join up against the rich. But they have us so divided, we're not there yet. The media has done a really good job. And I say the media, it's the rich that own that media, is what's going on. And so similar things happen though too, right? The rich owned the media back then as well. But when people get to talking to each other in their communities, they realize how similar they are. And so that's exactly what happened. Sure, racism has existed throughout history, because what happens is when one country conquers another country, or kills its people, you create animosity towards the people that killed your people. That's what happens. So realize that all the wars that America's been with, and even what's going on now, all you're doing is creating animosity from those people to us. What's happening is that. And so they went, okay, how do we create this animosity between the poor? And so what they did is, we're like, oh, well, you know what we'll do is we'll give the white people their freedom after a few years and some land. Because that's the thing, is back then they owned so much land. It was insane how much the rich owned. of land. And so it was easy for them to go, oh, yeah, all right, you're free, and here's a little plot of land. And then they went, but the black people, no, 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 no. The Africans don't get their freedom, and they don't get any land. And so they started spreading this lie that, oh, the black people want what you have, which, I mean, let's be fair. If you're both slaves and then one of you gets freedom and land, you're going to want that as well. But what they said was they want what you want, and they created this fear. They created racism. It hasn't made, to me, racism never made, it doesn't make sense. Other than, hey, you're killing my people, now I hate you. That makes sense. But it doesn't make sense for me to go, I judge you based off the way that your skin color, the way that you look, the way that you talk, if you speak another language. That's never made sense to me. Quite the opposite, in fact. That's what the rich has done is they have stoked this fear. They created racism so that white people would hate black people. It's a fake thing. It's made up. It's not real. And so that's how racism came to be, and that's how they have divided us for decades, over 100 years. I mean, it's disgusting, really. It's not that much better. I mean, I feel like, yeah, obviously it's better because black people aren't slaves anymore. But it almost seems like we are to a system, to a new, different system. And that's where you can see the connections. That's where you can see where they're still keeping us divided. They're still trying to make it so that we are not united. And because they don't want that, because then we'll realize that we're all in the same boat, and then we'll go after them, and we will be stronger because we outnumber them. They can have all the weapons in the world. How many times has this country gone to war with countries that are poor and destitute, and yet we cannot win those wars? Why? Because the numbers and the way that they do their warfare. We just need to learn from them to get what we need and get what we deserve from the rich. Stay tuned for another lesson from a people's history of the United States and how that compares to what's going on now.